about that time, about that time. Tune in or get tuned the fuck out. It's that Big Fruit podcast. Big Fruit podcast. It's that Big Fruit podcast. He about to go live. It's about that fucking time. It's that podcast. A-Hood, A-State, A-Block. Love to watch A-Day. Big Fruit been popping all kinds of ways. He took his spot, made it hot like a dinner plate. If you see him live, tune in, it's going down. True stories by real legends that's in the ground. Real gangsters that's in the jails in the town. Fire music, all exclusive, shut it down. This shit is real talk, real shit, word to mommy. By niggas that was killing shit and niggas that got body. By niggas sitting with life writing books for a hobby. By niggas who told niggas who made it, niggas copy. By late this podcast get put in the bag. To the nearest ER in the ground with the dead. A lot of these niggas is fraud, they whole podcast is trash. Fucking with Big Fruit, we ain't your...
Salute, and welcome to the Real Big Fruit Podcast. I'm your host, Big Fruit, the Michael Jordan of Record, also known as the voice of the streets, but better known as the glue, because I like to keep things together and keep them in a proper perspective. How y'all doing out there on this Flashback Friday? Yes, indeed, it's a Flashback Friday, man, and we're going to flash it back. We're going to flash it back solely because I came across a new YouTube video. First of all, let me say shout out to T.I. He got that Expeditiously podcast popping. And you know how we do here at the Real Big Fruit Podcast. We're always in support of what other brothers is doing. You know what I'm saying? Plus, T.I.'s a great speaker. So I definitely loving to hear him speak. But on his new podcast, he interviewed Jermaine Dupri the other day. And it was a great interview, man. Great interview. He asked some very good questions. I like how he asked questions about how Jermaine Dupri didn't fall into that pitfall where producers or record label owners be robbing their artists. And Jermaine Dupri, let it be known, he's never had that problem. You know what I'm saying? He always kept it up top with his artists. So no artist has really ever accused him of robbing him or stealing from him. So I definitely enjoyed that. But what caught me by surprise was the topic of Janet Jackson. Shout out to Janet Jackson, Charlene from Different Strokes, Penny from Good Times. Janet is the bomb. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Janet Jackson. But they spoke on how Jermaine Dupri was dating Janet Jackson back in the days, and we all know that was a big moment for hip hop culture. But T.I. during the interview made a statement that Jermaine Dupri was the only person that he knew dated Janet Jackson in hip hop culture. So if that's the only person he knew of, he basically saying he was the first and only. But let me say this, right? First and foremost, shout out to my favorite R&B singer, my guy, Bobby Brown. No question about it. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Brown was the first to date Janet in our culture. Bobby Brown might not be no rapper, but Bobby Brown represent the hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? And Bobby Brown was definitely the first. You know what I'm saying? But before we get to that, let's elaborate on this interview that took place with Jermaine Dupri and the one and only T.I. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, shout out to T.I., the Expeditiously podcast. That shit is rocking right now. You know what I'm saying? We in full support of that. But this is where we need to have the conversation, right? Here.
Get into it. I know it's, man, you got so much shit that we can talk about, bro. You are, let me see. You're the only motherfucker that I know within our culture that has dated Janet Jackson. So okay, wait a minute, cause you had.
He said he was the only person that he know of that dated Janet Jackson. I beg to differ, my man. I really beg to differ because, like I said, my boy B Brown, you know what I'm saying? B Brown, y'all already know, 87, 88, he dropped that Don't Be Cruel missile. 7 million albums sold. Bobby did his thing. You know what I'm saying? And he did most of those songs talking about his relationship with Janet. Janet was the one who got away. That bad boy image, Joe Jackson wasn't having that. So Janet had to get away from my boy Bobby. You know what I'm saying? But don't get it twisted. Bobby Brown was the first in the hip hop culture to date Janet Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Now, Bobby Brown wasn't the only. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Brown was the late 80s. But then when the mid 90s came around, hip hop culture spoke for real. When the homie, shout out to Queens, when the homie Q-Tip was dated Janet Jackson in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Q-Tip was dated Janet Jackson in the 90s. Y'all remember Vibrant Thing, Vibrant Thing. Yeah, Q-Tip was dating the first bad bro when it comes to a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Brown was the first bad boy and Q-Tip was the first rapper. So Jermaine Dupri, he came years and years after Q-Tip. He might have came a whole decade later. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Q-Tip. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna represent this thing right. You know what I'm saying? So major shout out to T.I. Major shout out to Jermaine Dupri. But they definitely had their facts backwards on that one, son. They definitely had their facts backwards on that one. You know what I'm saying? The boy T.I. should have did his homework before he made that statement. You know what I'm saying? He definitely should have did his homework before he made this statement.
Now, there's a few more things I'm going to get into here. I know it's, man, you got so much shit that we can talk about, bro. You are, let me see. You're the only motherfucker that I know within our culture that has dated Janet Jackson. So okay, wait a minute, because you had.
Once again, people. Once again, he got his facts backwards. They giving out false information. My boy B. Brown was the first, the Brown Bomber. He was the first in the hip hop culture. Although he's not a rapper, Bobby Brown was a bad boy and he represented hip hop culture to the fullest. And he was the first. You know what I'm saying? The Don't Be Cruel album dropped in 88, going close to 89, but 88, I might have to say 88, Don't Be Cruel. So you got to say the relationship was in 87, 88. So Bobby was the first to represent our culture and date Janet Jackson. And like I said, when it comes to hip hop and the rappers, Q-Tip was the first. Absolutely. Q-Tip dated Janet Jackson in the early 90s. So Queens, get the money. Y'all already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? We are not going to act like Q-Tip was not the man in the early 90s or the mid 90s, I should say. I just wanted to jump on here and speak on that real quick. You know what I'm saying? I really don't usually do this, but I had to jump on this, son. I had to jump on this because you can't give out false narratives to these young boys, man. You got to tell them the truth. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you do your research, make sure you do your history, and put out the real. And the real is Bobby Brown was the first in the culture, but Q-Tip was the first rapper. And Jermaine Dupri maybe have dated Janet Jackson a whole decade after Q-Tip. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to T.I., shout out to Jermaine Dupri, shout out to Bobby Brown, shout out to Q-Tip, and much love and respect to Janet Jackson. This is your boy Big Fruit. I'm going to get up out of here. Until next time, y'all know what it is. Salute.
Spot that time, Spot that time, Tune in or get tuned the fuck out. It's that Big Fruit podcast. Big Fruit podcast. It's that Big Fruit podcast. He about to go live. It's about that fucking time. It's that podcast. A-Hood, A-State, A-Block. Love to watch A-Day. Big Fruit been popping all kinds of ways. He took his spot, made it hot like a dinner plate. If you see him live, tune in, it's going down. True stories by real legends that's in the ground. Real gangsters that's in the jails in the town. Fire music, all exclusive, shut it down. This shit is real talk, real shit, word to mommy. By bullshit and niggas that got body